Hi, everybody, and welcome to another segment of the Poets Foundry podcast. I am Stephanie Lamb, and as you can see, we have one of our family members of the Poets Foundry and our co-host here, Miss Cynthia, C Sounds C on Instagram. That's the handle that you can find her under, and I have it written down there in the corner over there. Yeah, you see it. You don't see it yet, Cynthia, but you will on the replay. We've hand selected a couple of different pieces. Huh?
I said hi.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
I last 3 hours or anything. It's no
Oh
big deal.
no. You haven't spent all day with me.
uh-uh.
Um
Oh no.
Oh man. So yeah, a little backstory. We tried to record this earlier and we had some technical difficulties with recording it, and yeah, it didn't pick up the audio. We went the whole hour and it didn't pick up the audio. So that was just lovely. And Cynthia is a wonderful, wonderful sport here and said, okay, let's just re-record tonight. Um, yeah, so hopefully, things go all right. But we've got some great selections for you guys, some really
Fingers
great
crossed.
poets. Yeah, fingers and toes at this point because, yeah. But we've got some great selections for you, and hopefully it'll work. So, um, do you want me to start? I think I started last time. Well,
Yeah.
okay. So the first piece is from Calliope's Layer. Layer. I'm sure I butchered that, even though she sent me a voice clip telling me how to say it. It is CALLIOPE_S_LYRE_. She is part of the underscore clan. Um, and this piece is called, I mean, seriously, I used to have the underscores in my name too, and I get it.
I,
Huh? Did you ever have them?
Not a word, baby.
Oh, you didn't hear me?
No. Like I think I told you. I heard you. I tried using the underscore for like C sounds underscore C to make it
Mm.
more evident how to pronounce my handle, but that was taken. C sounds capital C was taken. So I just ended up doing what I did,
Oh,
which is
I
just
didn't.
no punctuation or anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it works, except for it works that I know some people they'll get confused. I was confused on how to say your handle. I said C sound SC and it's C sounds C. So everybody knows. I made the mistake too.
Yeah.
um, call her Cindy, Cynthia,
Oh,
but
man.
don't call her C sound SC.
Thank you. Don't call me C. There was one host who did it deliberately one night just to make me angry, and people were in the comments saying, "No, that's not how you pronounce it. It C sounds C,"
Oh,
and it was really. I had all these people like before I even said anything, like chiming in, and
yeah, having your back on it.
yeah, he was just doing it to be. Yeah, which was
Was
pretty cool.
Yeah. Was he like he was just teasing though, right? Like just messing around?
Uh, Something like that. Yeah, just
Okay.
being a just being.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just playing around.
All right, so this one is I believe it's called Shameless. Honor. is a weightless word falling easy from the mouths of men, raising their meaty hands against women who carry their feeble voices to birth. For when you bleed between your legs, that's just nature's curse. You were born unworthy here, but bleeding from your teeth, cut lips, bent arms, stab wounds, that's honor's worth. These fruits of wrath that rot with age and chain a child to house and hearth, because this is a world of men with hamstrung minds and frothing tongues, ready to hammer their points home with fists and rules and laws unearthed from how low, low the bar was left. That's how easy honor's earned for hollow men with hollow words. But wombs carry honor heavy, like hot coals, steadily petrifying, but outward proud, proudly dying, from stifling grips and strangling eyes, and as they finally succumb to the cool, dark, welcoming earth, realize it is just so. Honor is truly weightless once you let go. And I don't usually read the caption, but I will read it here because I think it's important. This message is important. Obviously, that poem was very heavy and very hard to take down. Um, but
Mm-hmm.
she says, growing up, I often heard my father remark nonchalantly to me during beatings, "What difference does it make if I break your legs? They'll be fixed with my money anyway." This didn't rub any onlookers the wrong way. It wasn't socially unacceptable. Not to the driver whose arm he accidentally broke in a fit of rage one day and whose surgery he then paid for by way of apology. Not to my aunts, not to my cousins, not to my uncles, not to my sister who argued to him not to pay for my education because I was going to get married and go away someday and any money paid for my fees would be wasted with no returns. To none of these people who watched and said anything except things like, "Oh, at least don't damage her face." To none of these people was I anything more than his property and his business to deal with as he pleased. And even if I wasn't, they wouldn't say anything for fear of the very obvious skeletons bursting out of their closets, the open secrets of the well-to-do, that glassy eyes skim over, afraid of being shown a mirror. Having these ugly faces up too close, what's happening in Turkey hits hard and hits close to home. There is no religious or cultural justification for honor killings. There is no reason for it to be considered there is no reason for it not to be considered cold-blooded murder, which is what it is. Murder. They kill because they can get away with it without impunity. And when they don't kill, they maim or they rape or they groom from childhood or they bury alive at birth or they terminate as soon as the ultrasound confirms the lack of a penis. This is part of reality today, even in 2020. What's happening in Turkey is all too real, all too familiar, and all too fucking much already. There there is honor in rebellion against that systematic torture. There is honor in resisting cruelty, whether it's being inflicted on you or someone else. There is honor in denying dehumanizing rituals enforced in the name of tradition. There is honor in letting go of this time honored, sanctified bullshit. Just let go.
Yeah.
Whew, that's heavy.
You know, I that caption is every bit as powerful and devastating as the poem itself. And it made me think. So I feel like this is not someone from Turkey, but I'm wondering about, is this like a second, is she like a second generation?
Yeah, it's quite apparent that she's obviously lived um, with that type of abuse and through that type of abuse, which is just really, really sad.
Right.
It's happening anywhere in the world, but I think that in while it's important that we do focus on what is happening, the honor killings, the annihilation of women, um, but also that it's a global thing, that I don't know. I don't think I get the feeling she's not from Turkey either, but she's from somewhere where this is the norm. This is socially acceptable. This is, and even here in America, we see it. And it's just sad. It's really sad that women are still looked at as second class citizens.
Yeah. Um, I just, when you think about all the places in the world where this is done and there's no, it's not a hidden thing. It's not something that people do in secret. It's a ritual. It's like a community ritual. It's expected. It's just so so impossible to imagine.
Hmm.
Living in a society like that. And I think she does a beautiful job with her poetry, with her poem and her caption. And when she writes, specifically when she spoke about her father beating her and saying, well, my money's going to fix your anyway if I break them, that's when I'm really thinking, okay, this is like, when you talk about changing these sort of paradigms in certain societies or whatever, we can't just we have to talk about the men who are taught that these things are not only okay, but what is expected of them, and what, like, commits adultery, or there's so many reasons that these honor killings occur, so
Hmm.
many ways that they're validated. And it's not just the young women that need to be strong and stand up for themselves. The men, the boys need to be taught, you know,
Yeah,
no, this is
it's
not okay. I think she
Calopes Lair. And she's on Instagram. Mhm.
Calliope,
Calliopes, yes. So
I think
I
it's
will,
Calliope's liar, or
yeah, liar. I will tag everybody that we read down at the bottom. But
what, like,
all right, what do you got for us?
okay, give me a sec. So the first piece I have is by one of my favorite poets on Instagram, and she's very well aware of it. I've made her very well aware of it. And honestly, I could read any of her pieces and feel just as strongly about her work. I mean, she's phenomenal. And this is unseen underscore unheard underscore poet. So she's part of the underscore gang as well, but she gets a pass for that from me. So, unseen unheard poet. And when I say, listen to this song, what I mean is, hear these words I cannot say to you. And when I say, there's no need to thank me, what I mean is, I am worthless unless you need me. And when I say, I'm just tired, what I mean is, my face hurts pretending and my heart hurts lying, and I am anxious about absolutely fucking everything. And when I say goodnight, what I mean is, please don't forget me while you sleep. Please don't replace me by the morning. Please don't make the insomnia feel too long and lonely. And when I say, it's just a poem, what I mean is, help.
Oh,
So that's my girl. I love her. I love that poem. I get that on so many levels. I just get it, every bit of it.
Absolutely. I love that piece. I love the repetition of when I say or when I do or when I and just the um almost like I don't even know. I'm trying to think of the word that I'm trying. It's on the tip of my tongue and I can't think of it. Not longing, but like desperation almost. That's the word I was looking for. Like the desperation of it. Like, please,
Yeah,
somebody just read between the
they see me
lines.
here,
Yes, absolutely. That's
and
it.
I think it's another rough. Sorry.
Wait, repeat that last part because it cut out.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think it's okay. I was gonna say, or I did say, I think it's another representation of being a marginalized female,
Mhm. Yeah.
and the way that our men don't get it so
Hmm.
often, especially if we are survivors of trauma, we're not going to be as open and straightforward with our needs or our wants,
Right. We need to find somebody who can,
That's how I
yeah, like somebody who can almost intuitively connect with us. And that's hard to find. It's really hard to find, especially in a
yeah,
man. And you and I discussed this earlier because men work from the divine masculine and women work from the divine feminine for the most part. Every once in a while you see it cross over or somebody who is like absolutely balanced. But for the most part, I mean, in society, we're raised a certain way, and men are raised to be, ooh, I'm the man, and women are raised to be a little softer and timid and the nurturer and um so I think that we naturally connect a little easier. So yeah, I really love that piece, and that's definitely one that I will go and follow after this. um okay, and the next one that
I
I huh
to follow her. She's fantastic.
yeah, I really am
I just
going.
said I encourage everyone to follow.
Yes, everybody go and follow all of these. We really did pick out quite the lineup today. Um, this one is The Constant
Yeah.
Poet. The Constant Poet, she is based out of New
Okay.
Orleans, Louisiana. And this is called A Boy is Just a Boy Until. A boy is just a boy until somebody gets hurt, until your heart is in your throat for the fifth night in a row, until he touches you as if you're not just a girl, like the sting of a scorpion, until his mouth makes your name sound like a pipe organ, like an anthem. Now, every time you swallow your pride, it burns like corn syrup, and you like it. A boy is just a boy until he's a landslide, until he's a fault line, until the earth gives way and you have no ground to kiss and nothing to show for it except this boy who's just a boy. The same way the Sistine Chapel is just graffiti, the same way Michelangelo just spray painted his name across the ceiling and called it a day. And that was A Boy is Just a Boy Until by The Constant Poet. And I love that piece. I
That
absolutely,
ending, that
yeah, the way that it just really,
so
really
good.
um did a good job at depicting how, like, just how you go through the motions, how a relationship can evolve and change and go from being, one thing to another. Whether you and I, discussed that earlier, is I took it as like, oh, this is like a love poem and going from maybe friend zone or fuck buddy to something real. And you eloquently brought up how it could be a relationship even with like a son or somebody else, of just of how it how it changes, how they become something else.
Like a boy growing up.
Mhm.
I see some of that in that, and maybe the ways that a relationship with that boy might change as you and he grow up.
Mhm.
Whether you're his girlfriend, partner, mother, sister, father.
Yeah.
I I think there's aspects of all of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I really, that piece is just really beautiful. She does a lot of really great writing like that. I enjoy her account a lot. And it's still a fairly new account to me.
I really love the ending on that one. So
Yeah.
good. How Michelangelo spray painted his name across the Sistine Chapel or whatever and called it a day. I
Yeah.
just love that. Like it's so so like irreverent and like I don't even have the words to describe it, but I just love that because it's obviously an intricate process, but it's just minimized to the point where it's like big fucking deal.
Exactly. Oh my God. You stole the words out of my mouth. I've been trying to like orate that for a while now since I read the poem and I couldn't put the thoughts and the words together. So thank you for for doing that.
Oh well, just talking off the cuff. I don't know if I'm right. I don't know if it makes any sense. It is what it is. It's poetry.
Yeah. All right, what do you got for us?
All right, let's see. So the next piece I have is by a beautiful soul, whose account I just love. I adore him as a person. This is Trans Writings, no punctuation in there. And here we go. No title. In the dream, I'm in a field of lilacs and lavenders. Purple fills my nose and eyes, and under my feet I feel the flowers crushed to liquid purple. And then I see you. You have a chair made of branches, and the lilacs and the lavenders climb your legs and arms to wrap around you like bracelets, like halos. You look at me and smile so wide, and I wave like a child again, and I crush more of the flowers. I run to you across the field. I almost slip on the purple that coats my feet like paint and up my shins, but I get to you and you are purple. It bleeds from a slit in your neck. It bleeds from the wounds made by the crown of thorns. It bleeds from your mouth, which was never smiling. You were grimacing. The smell of the flowers is rancid and rotten, and you are too. I try to say your name and it gets lost. I try to say your name, but lilacs and lavender sprout from my lungs and my open mouth.
Mm. Oh,
Ah, that just gets me, and I can't fully articulate why. It just does. That's kind of how his writing affects me. I can't always completely articulate why it's like a punch to the gut or why I'm so moved, but I just am,
yeah,
you know?
absolutely. Okay, so I adore Tyler. He is one of the most amazing writers and
Yeah,
souls that you can come across here on Instagram. I know that a lot of the time he does write a lot about like his dreams. And so when I first read that piece, that's what I was sure it was like, a dream, right? Um, but I think that there's a lot of
yeah,
truth to that piece too. And even just picking the color purple, and then talking about the halos and then a crown, basically a crown of thorns, I think is what he referenced. Um, and purple is a color of royalty. So it's like almost like
Right.
he's put this, whoever this subject is in the poem, on this pedestal, and they're infallible, they're glorified, they're wonderful, and then he gets to the destination, gets to the person, gets to the subject, and they're really not what they seem. They're falling apart, they're decaying, rotting.
Right.
um it turned out to be a
It's like
fallacy.
right. It's like there's a person that he has placed in a in a in a place of reverence, right? Or he views in a reverent way.
Hmm.
And from afar, it looks like that person is smiling and waving. The closer he gets, he realizes, oh no, that's a grimace, and oh, you're rancid. And it makes me think of like growing up and seeing, like, we put our parents on these pedestals, and then we grow up and we see them for who they really are, and with their flaws and their, or it doesn't have to be a parent, a teacher, you know we're, whoever.
Hmm.
um but it brings to mind a scenario that I think most of us face in some way or another with someone who we love and look up to, you
Hmm.
know?
Yep, absolutely. Yep, I agree full-heartedly with those statements. And like you said, it could be anybody. It could be a teacher, a mother, father, a brother, a lover, you know. Um, and so often I
Yeah.
think people false advertise. People false advertise themselves all the time. And then you get to know them and you're like, you're nothing
Oh,
of
yeah.
what you sold me on. So yeah, like Tyler, your writing is always spot on. It's always glorious. And I'm so glad that you picked one of his pieces, because I think that this is like literally the first podcast or live that I've done that I didn't include one of his pieces. So like it seems like wherever I lack, you
Always.
seem you seem to pick up. So
That's cool.
yeah,
I
I
wondered if
know.
we would pick the same.
Yeah, well,
You know,
now that I kind of know, I'm going to make a
if
list of these ones that tend to
we,
pick together, and we'll have to like draw straws or something on who gets to read them.
yeah, you have Tyler next time.
We'll see. We'll arm wrestle over it. How silly. Um, all right, where was I? I think, let's see. Okay, so we're good on time right now, so hold on. Let me see. Aha. Okay. Found it. This is probably a poet, and it's called Cold. He stopped kissing me recently, and he won't tell me anything except, "You're so cold now, baby. And what are you meant to do with an emission like that?" And his fingers dance across the empty space right above my fingers, so close and so far away, but I don't feel the heat coming off his palm, so I don't move my hand. And maybe this is what we are, what we're reduced to, frozen right before the punchline. His lips brush against my neck but never make a mark, and it's like neither of us are here anymore. Never have been. His stuff starts disappearing from my room, and he stops coming over to my apartment. He stops looking in my eyes. He stops. I don't realize how long it's been until someone else moves in, someone takes his place. And I play this song and dance with cold breath and dead eyes and centuries of experience. I'll wait until he lays down in the ground, and I'll kiss him again until he remembers that ghosts last forever, just until I stop feeling so cold. and that was Cold by Probably Poet. And I love that piece. I love it so much because it's just, those times where the relationship is just like slowly dying and you're not even realizing it until it is over, until it is done, it's gone. And like she put in there that, I don't even notice until somebody else comes along and takes his place. And I felt that because I've been there.
Right.
I think, I lived that in my early 20s. I definitely lived that. So
Yeah, the gradual taking away of, objects, and not even really being aware of the person doing that until it's like, oh, he's not here. Like,
right.
I guess he's gone. And what I the line that grabbed me this time was something about it being generations old.
Oh
And
yeah.
there's, I think that to me that is like a reference to like ancestral patterns and generational cycles and that sort of thing, and things that we bring down from our mothers, our grandmothers, or things that we hopefully, like, every generation can make it a little better.
Hmm. Absolutely. Like
But it's like it's just something that's ingrained because of our.
it's like generational behavioral inheritance.
Yep.
And that line was, and I play this song and dance with cold breath and dead eyes and centuries of experience. Yeah, I think you nailed that. You nailed that. Uh, Not analogy, but interpretation, I guess. Or yeah. God, my mind is like foggy.
That was good. That was so.
It was a really, yeah, that's a really good account. And I
Oh, you're.
I know I'm all foggy. So probably Poet has 123 followers. They should have like 10,000.
Following.
Yeah, that's a good one. But
I'm writing it down.
out of 100 and what I say
Okay.
130 something or 123 followers, and that particular post still got 35 likes. So that's still like that's good. That's like 30% of your following, 20 about 25, 26% of your following is actually interacting with you. And even me with having 7K followers, I'm lucky if I hit 10% interaction, you know? So that's good.
Well, yeah. I will say I noticed on one of your poems that you had like 2,000 and some likes.
Hmm.
I was like, what the fuck?
Do you want to know why?
That's
Like
pretty great.
I'll be honest. Do you want to know why that happened? I did a paid promotion. I tried I
Okay.
I wanted to know how they work, and guess what? They work. I ended up with that 2K likes. I ended up with 500 people saved the poem, which meant that 500 of my readers, it resonated with them so much that they saved it. And I gained, it was like 35 new followers. So as much as people want to talk shit about paid promotions, they work. And if you are trying to take your craft seriously and you're trying to get published, which is the whole point of this platform, and if you're trying to reach a broader audience, then a couple bucks on a paid promotion is well worth your investment. I think that that particular
So
promotion, what?
no, I was just gonna say you promoted the poem, not you didn't like pay for followers.
No,
Is that
no, no, no.
right?
Right,
Because
right.
I know you can do both.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can buy viewers for your lives. You can buy likes. You can buy followers. I mean, everything is for sale in today's world. But no, that was the actual paid promotion through Instagram. You know how it always says like you want to promote this or you see the ads in your feed? That's what I did. And that particular one was I ran it for 3 days at $3 a day. So nine bucks. And I reached like I think 50,000 people saw it and I ended up with 2,000 likes and the like I said the 35 followers. So I'm doing what I set out to do, which is reach a broader audience, carry my message to other people will that it will resonate with. You know what I mean? Because like I've always said, my healing is for me and it's for my or I'm sorry, my writing is for me and it's for my healing, but I share it with you guys in hopes that it helps you find your healing. Yeah.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
that's exactly my philosophy. Yeah.
Yep. So,
Well, that's cool to know. I've never promoted things. I might just try it just to see like how it,
it
what effect it has.
it works and I
If I have
shared
something I'm promoting.
Yeah, I mean, I shared that information with another poetess, and she tried it, and her results were great too. And she was like, "Wow, like this works." And there's no shame in it. I know that there's some people talk about bad about stuff like that, and I mean, I'm not going to go and buy likes or viewers or followers or whatever. But if I can legit promote my work, then why not? Like how is that any different from
So
doing
what does
follow
it
for
do? Just
follow?
make it show up as,
Hmm. Yeah,
yeah, well, I don't do that either. But I
yeah.
want it to just show up more frequently.
Well, with the paid
Yeah.
promotions,
Okay.
what it does is it basically makes like out of your an advertisement out of your poem. So it shows up like how you see the ads in your feed? It does that same thing in other people's feeds. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
All right, what do you got for us?
Well, it's certainly worthy of, but it was a little surprising. I think that's one of the most highest numbers that I've seen on a poem, even
Yeah.
from people like yourself with thousands of followers.
Yeah.
Is it nice?
It is. It's all you.
Okay. This is from The Taste of My Pen, no punctuation. I think her name is Lois, and she is lovely, and I love her writing. This caption says that this poem is taken from my latest book, Exhale the Flora. I owe the inspiration of this piece to at Melissa's_seasons, as she wrote a piece a while back that sparked this one. Thank you for always being such a kind and genuine inspiration to me with your words. Both my poetry books are on sale through the Amazon link in my bio. So go to her page, check out her bio, and buy her books, everyone. You won't be sorry. So this is The Taste of My Pen, and the poem has no title. I take my tea the way I take my showers, scalding hot with honey almond coursing through my bony back and brittle fingers, soaking in dramatic bursts of sugared bullets. Its quiet, filtered steam blooming in my pores, sometimes accompanied by Earl's shades of gray and sips of morbid smoke ripping through my nose in lotus-flowered notes. And sometimes I cry, for this porcelain tub teacup cannot carry my tones of anxious herb stragglers, my head sinking in murky stirred drink, and there's flecks of me floating in this tea garden wash, the aroma strong with languid blends of ginger and hell's babble, a party for one, absolution's bathwater, brewing me clean.
Whew.
So creative, so clever, and so like I can feel that. I get it, you know. Absolution's bathwater. That is just such a great fucking line.
Yeah, she's extremely creative, and I love that she can pull inspiration from anywhere, and her metaphors are always like really spot on. She's always like so good with wording things and comparison um and I just that piece I just pictured, myself and or someone steeping themselves in a bath and becoming, one with that, just like you would with tea. It's almost like, oh gosh, just make chamomile tea out of me. Just soothe the soul, you know? Um, yeah, just a really clever and really beautiful piece. All of her writing is really, really good. Like super, she's one of the best writers, I think, on IG.
I agree. I love this. And there's flecks of me floating in this tea garden wash, like the little flecks of tea in the bottom of the cup. I don't, everything about this analogy or, that she's writing of is just brilliant. Like,
Hmm.
who thinks of that?
I
Like,
know.
I think it's just beautifully done.
You know what's funny is that this is the second time I've heard that piece, and that line that you just repeated, that you just read again, is the same one that stuck out to me this time around. So I just think that that's a little silly of us to connect on that particular part of the poem. It's yeah, and I can take it a couple of ways with that. Is like, one, okay, warm me up, let me steep, and I will reveal all of my, hidden treasures to you, all the little flecks to you. Or it could be taken as cleansing, like I'm getting the filth off of me. Let's get these specks out of the way, you know?
Yeah, I can see it both ways, and but yet I still feel that it's important to recognize whether it's a revealing or a cleansing, that those